All right, I'm not sure how the lighting is going to be or the sound, but this is the mirror analogy, the mirror facing the mirror analogy. It's a good one. All right, so this is from my perspective, right? So let's say that, see, even if I know where the camera is, I don't know which one to look at. So let's say that I'm focusing on the left one, and I focus so much on the left one, the left image, that let's say I forget, I lose track, I lose sight of that one because I zoom in so much to this one that I no longer have that in my periphery. And also, I'm so intent on it, first of all, focused almost physically, visually, and then interest into it, your focus zoomed in, your attention, then I would lose track of myself, of this. So let's say that now the actual me, is moving, but I've forgotten that part. I'm not aware of the body's movements. So, so I see that moving and I think that that's me, right? So that thinks that maybe it's in control of the movement, but it knows that it isn't. Anyway, in the periphery, this one becomes obvious in my periphery. I become seen. And there's a correlation. You can see that there's something weird going on. That there's two things, and they appear to, and when you get to the middle, when I get to the middle, they're both in equal periphery, right? They're both equally in each periphery. And every subtle little movement that I make, I can see that they both move in opposition, completely, perfectly in tandem at the same time, right? There would be no time difference between the movements of these two things if there's a third thing witnessing like this, right? What everyone's been doing is assuming one of the perspectives, right? So this is entanglement. Someone can get this, right? So it requires a third option that's in a higher dimension than those two-dimensional realms. Okay? And I don't know if they have to be exactly the same dimensions, but the point is that higher, lower, and they're both, this is duality, this is the yin yang, this is the fundamental model of reality. This, if you understand this simple little thing that I've done, presentation here that I've done, you understand the fundamental model of reality. You understand in metaphor, as closely as you're gonna fucking get, entanglement. There's a third higher dimensional observer from which both of these are directly related. See, these things are not causally related. You see what I mean? So I don't think that they're perfectly facing each other, maybe. I don't know. But it's apparent this way that it looks like if you're in that mirror and you can see that mirror, but you can't see, you don't know the self, then of course it looks like that thing is mirroring you perfectly, but yet it's not mirroring you. So there'd be a time delay this way, but there's no time delay this way. Anyway, I don't want to get any further into it, but this is it. Like, this very simply is the fundamental model of reality. There has to be a God or a third attribute that's in a higher dimension that is not dependent upon those things, and it looks like those things are dependent upon each other when the observer does not recognize self. That is the most important part of all of this, is that the scientists that are doing these experiments and coming up with these equations have forgotten to look inward. They've forgotten the most important thing. The observer is their very consciousness. It's not some arbitrary third party thing. It's their direct consciousness.